საშინაო სკოლის გაკვეთილებს წარმოგიდგენთ კომპანია Silknet.
Hello, today we shall speak about saving other people. Open your pupils book at page 120 and look at the pictures. You can see that much snow and dogs, and something is happening here. It's all happened in Alaska, and that's a true story. You may not be familiar with where the Alaska is or what kind of dogs are these and what's happening there. Let me tell you in short. Alaska is in the North America. It's the state of America, and sometimes people call it AK, which means Alaska. In Alaska, the temperature is always low. There is always most of the time there is heavy snow, so people can't. The only way to go from one place to another, they travel just with the help of dogs. And there are special dogs, so-called husky dogs. დღეს ჩვენ ვისაუბრებთ დახმარებაზე და ვისაუბრებთ მინდა რომ გადაშალოთ თქვენი მოსწავლის წიგნები 120 გვერდზე და შეხედოთ სურათებს, ხედავთ აქ ძაღლებს, თოვლს, ყინულს. ეს ყველაფერი ხდება ალასკაში. ალასკა არის ამერიკის ჩრდილოეთ ნაწილში, ეს არის ერთ-ერთი შტატი ამერიკის. AK იწერება ხოლმე, მთლიანად ალასკას ნიშნავს და მხოლოდ 200-ს წერენ ხანდახან მისმაგივრად. ისეთი მკაცრი ზამთარია ალასკაში და იმდენად დაბალი ტემპერატურა არის და ყინვა, რომ ერთადერთი გადაადგილების საშუალება არის ძაღლები. რა თქმა უნდა, ეს არის სპეციალური ძაღლები, რომელიც მარხილში არიან ჩაბმული და ეხმარებიან ხალხს გადაადგილებაში. There are also special people who lead these dogs. They are called mushers. და ასევე არიან სპეციალური ადამიანები, რომლებიც ამ ძაღლებს აძლევენ მიმართულებას, საით წავიდნენ. Mushers they are called. Now it all happened in 1925. Disease was spread in the town of Nome. Nome was a small town, and children were getting sick one after the other, and the doctors realized that it was infectious disease, and very soon, if they didn't stop it, the whole town might die. So, and it might kill not only hundreds but thousands of people. So, of course, immediately doctors decided to send someone for medicine. 1925 წელს მოხდა ისე, რომ ინფექციური დაავადება გავრცელდა ერთ-ერთ პატარა ქალაქში, ალასკის ნოუმში. და რამდენიმე ბავშვის სიკვდილის შემდეგ ექიმი მიხვდა, რომ აუცილებელი იყო ამის შეჩერება და ერთადერთი გზა შესაჩერებლად იყო წამლის სასწრაფოდ ჩამოტანა ამ ადგილას. But it was very hard to get the medicine at this place, so the plane couldn't take off because of very low temperature, and the only way was the dog sledge. ერთადერთი გზა იყო, ვინაიდან ძალიან დაბალი ტემპერატურა იყო, თვითმფრინავი ვერ აფრინდა და ერთადერთი გზა აი ამ წამლის მოტანის და შოვნის იყო ისევ ძაღლების მარხილით წასვლა. Now 20 teams of husky dogs and mushers ran as a relay. 20 გუნდი ძაღლების გაემგზავრა აი ამ წამლის საშოვნელად. They had a lot of difficulties. I won't tell you everything. I want you to read and listen, of course. But it took several months. It took more than a month, actually, to get the medicine. But still, the dogs made it. They fought bravely. They had a lot of problems, of course. They had to, some of them even died. Some of the dogs even died. რა თქმა უნდა, ძალიან ბევრი სიცნელი შეხვდათ, ძალიან ბევრი ბრძოლა მოუწიათ ამ ძაღლებს და რა თქმა უნდა, ადამიანებსაც, ვინც ამ ძაღლებს უძღოდა წინ, მაგრამ მაინც მიუხედავად იმისა, რომ თითქმის ერთი თვე დასჭირდა, მათ მოახერხეს ამ წამლის ჩამოტანა და გადაარჩინეს 10,000-ობით ადამიანი. They saved more than 10,000 people. You will hear the names of the dogs. Togo and Balto, these are the names of the dogs that were the lead dogs, so called, and all the other husky dogs are descendants of these dogs, says the text. Am ტექსტში ნათქვამია, რომ ორი ძაღლის სახელი შეგვხვდებათ, ტოგო და ბალტო. და ამბობენ, ნათქვამია, რომ ყველა დანარჩენი ესეთი დიდი ჩრდილოეთის ძაღლი არის სწორედ აი ამ ძაღლების შთამომავალი. At the same time, I want you to tell you that these dogs, so-called husky dogs, are special dogs with very heavy and thick hair, and they are used for North and in Alaska and Canada. და ეს ძაღლები ჩრდილოეთის სწორედ მხოლოდ ამ ადგილებში გამოიყენება უმეტესად. და ეხლა რასაც ხვდებით, ესენი არიან უკვე მისი შთამომავლები. Now before we listen, let's go through the words and see what are the words that we will come across. Blizzard means strong wind and snow. At the same time, we read Sapala took the medicine and turned back towards the north in a raging blizzard. Sapala აიღო წამალი და გაემართა სასწრაფოდ ჩრდილოეთისკენ გამძნივარებულ ქარბუქში. Brave and bravely. Brave means to deal with difficulties or bad situations. I wrote in Georgian sheopovari and not mamatsi because it's about a dog. Brave dog. Dogs led Balto, the dog, led his team bravely all night. You know, when there is a team of dogs, one is the lead dog, and the lead dog needs to be obedient to his master, to his musher. So, როდესაც არის ძაღლების გუნდი, რამდენიმე ძაღლი ერთად, აუცილებელია რომ ის ძაღლი, რომელიც სათავეში დგას და არის ლიდერი ძაღლის, აუცილებელია რომ ის იყოს ძალიან მორჩილი და კარგად უსმენდეს პატრონს რას ეუბნება, რა მიმართულებას აძლევს და ემორჩილებოდეს მის ბრძანებებს, ხო? So we read Balto led his team bravely all night. შეუპოვრად უძღოდა თავის ძაღლების გუნდს მთელი ღამის განმავლობაში. Break up means to break into small pieces. We read that the ice was breaking up. Deliver means to be brought. The medicine was safely delivered. We read in the text. Zamali miacodes motanili ikna ubneblad. Descendants, shtamomavlupa. All the husky dogs in America today are the descendants of Togo. Now, chance is another word for opportunity, chance. We will hear this word when we listen to our story about Queen Karina and her diamond. It says her friends, Balto and Sila, they say, this is our chance, we have to take it. So you will hear it later. Eventually means at last, gradually. We read, eventually he was reassured and lived in a zoo. It's again about Togo. Expanse. It means a very large area of the surface of water, skyland or something. It was a vast expanse of frozen sea. Expanse. Now freezing means very low temperature. Togo had to jump across freezing water. We will read a lot of things the dog did that day. They not only jumped across the freezing water, but they also, some of them, you know, fell in the freezing water, but still they continued struggling and fighting. ჩვენ ბევრ გმირობას წავიკითხავთ და მოვისმენთ ამ ძაღლების შესახებ, ისინი არა მარტო გადახდნენ ამ გაყინულ წყალზე, ზოგი ჩავარდა, ზოგმა გააგრძელა, ზოგი დაეხმარა წამლის პოვნაში. ეს ძაღლები ძალიან შეუპოვრად და ერთგულად იბრძოდნენ აი ამ წამლის მოსაპოვებლად და and they are recognized as heroes at the end. ისინი გმირებად არიან აღიარებული, რა თქმა უნდა. Gale is another word for strong wind. It says in the text that the first team left the town in a gale and snowstorm. Harness, the leather band, a set of leather bands. The harness broke, but Togo jumped into the water. Husky, as I have already told you, means a dog with heavy, thick hair, used in Canada and Alaska. Ice floe, it's a large piece of ice, an area of ice floating in the ocean. The whole team stranded on ice floe. Immediately means at once. The doctors sent for the medicine immediately. In fact means to give someone a disease, inficireba. The children, terrible disease could infect and kill everyone in the town. Lead means to take someone, to show the way, to take someone and to go with them. Not only show the way and take, but at the same time go. Გაწყოლა ნიშნავს არა მარტო ჩვენებას გზის და მიმართულების, არამედ იმასთან ერთად წაყოლასაც, ვისაც აჩვენებ ამ გზას და მიმართულებას. So his lead dog was 20-year-old. Mercy means kindness. It's another word for kindness, forgiveness. This whole race, so-called, was called Big Race of Mercy. I am till rbolas, I am till strafat gaktsevas rom წამალი მოეტანათ. I am ასე წოდა დიდი მოწყალების რბოლა. The Big Race of Mercy. Then obedience is when you do something that you are told to do. The musher was not sure that the dog had the obedience of a lead dog. არ იყო დარწმუნებული, რომ დოგოს ექნებოდა ის მორჩილება, რომელიც წინამძღოლ ლიდერ ძაღლს უნდა ჰქონოდა. Race is another word for quick run. Raging means very strong. It says raging blizzard, very strong snow and wind. Route is another word for way or road. I want to add one more letter here, route. And tangle means to become twisted together. It says about doctor. The doctor Dr. Ivanov was tangled up in reindeer and he couldn't take the medicine. And then there was another musher who grabbed the medicine and said, I'll take it to the town. Okay, now let's listen to the story and then we will do more exercises about it.
The Great Race of Mercy. This is the true story of how 20 mushers and 150 dogs saved the lives of 10,000 people in the winter of 1925. Nome is a small town in the north of Alaska. In January 1925, some children in the town became ill and died. The doctor realized it was a terrible disease. It could quickly infect and kill everybody in the town. Immediately, he sent for medicine. A plane was ready to fly the medicine more than 1,000 kilometers to Nome, but the weather was too cold and it could not take off. Only a dog sledge could take the medicine, but everyone asked, can the dogs reach Nome in time? 20 teams of husky dogs and mushers ran as a relay. The first team left Nenana on the 27th of January in a gale and a snowstorm. The dogs raced through the night in -52 degrees Celsius. The next day, a new team carried on. The relay continued for 4 days and nights through thick snow and ice. The newspapers and radio carried the story. They called it the Great Race of Mercy. Everyone wanted the dogs to succeed. On the 31st of January, the medicine arrived at the coast. The quickest route to Nome was across the bay. It was a vast expanse of frozen sea, more than 50 kilometers across. Henry Ivanov set off with his team, but almost at once they ran into a reindeer and got tangled up. Just then, Leonard Sipala arrived from the north. He was the most famous and fastest musher. "I have the medicine," Ivanov shouted. Sipala took the medicine and turned back towards the north into a raging blizzard. His lead dog was 12-year-old Togo. Crossing the frozen sea was the most difficult and dangerous part of the journey. The ice was breaking up. Once, the whole team was stranded on an ice floe. Togo had to jump 1.5 meters across freezing water. The harness broke, but Togo jumped into the water, took the harness in his mouth, and pulled the ice together until it was safe for the rest of the team to jump. They reached the next team on the 1st of February. The medicine was quickly carried to the last team, which was led by Bolto. Bolto was not usually a lead dog, and he was only 3 years old. The musher was not sure that Bolto had the strength and obedience of a lead dog. Bolto led his team bravely all night, and they arrived in Nome early next morning. The medicine was safely delivered. The doctor treated his patients, and no more people died. Afterwards, Bolto was a hero for a few months. Later he was sold and shown around America, but he was badly looked after. Eventually, he was rescued and lived in a zoo. All the dogs who ran were heroes. 6 of them froze to death on the journey. Togo lived to the age of 16. All the husky dogs in America today are descendants of Togo and the other brave runners of 1925.
So you have listened to the story. Now let's do activity 1 from page 122 from Pupils book. It says match the sentences beginnings and endings. Nome is a small town. Where is this small town? How do you think? Or how do you remember? It's in the north of Alaska, of course. The doctor realized that it was a terrible disease. Everyone hoped that the dogs will succeed. The quickest route to Nome was across the bay. Just then, Leonard Sipala arrived from the north. His lead dog was 12-year-old Togo. Once the whole team was stranded on an ice floe, and the doctor treated his patients, and no more people died. Now look at activity 2 and look at the picture. Talk about the answers to these questions. Look at this picture. This is obviously the town of Nome, and these are the houses where these poor children, infected children, lived. Would you like to ride in a dog sledge? Or have you ever ridden in a dog sledge? Which place do you think is more dangerous, the Arctic or the desert, and why? And what other animals help people? What do they do? What are the think about these questions. If you know some other animals or some other breed of the dogs that are used to help people, like Labrador help blind people, hunting dogs hunters help when people are hunting. So think about these other breeds of dogs and other animals also, how they help. აქ არის კითხვები მოცემული. როდის მოგზაურიათ თუ არა, არ ჩდარხართ თუ არა მარხილზე, სადაც ძაღლები არიან შებმული. როგორ ფიქრობთ, რომელი უფრო საშიშია, უდაბნოში მოგზაურობა თუ არქტიკაში? რომელი ცხოველი ეხმარება კიდე ხალხს, რისი გაკეთება შეუძლიათ და კიდევ რა ჯიშის ძაღლი იცით, რომელიც ასევე ეხმარება ხალხს, ადამიანებს და შეუძლიათ რომ ადამიანები ენდონ ამ ძაღლებს. Now in activity 3 we have to write opposite of the words like difficult, easy, dangerous, safe, H we write, immediately will be later of course, vast means tiny, Die means, and opposite of die is live, terrible, wonderful, thick, thin, and succeed, fail. I think you know all these words. If you don't know, you can check these words in your dictionary, of course. Now let's go to the workbook. Open your workbook at page 112, and it says, can you remember the missing words? They were all in the reading text. And the letters of these words, the first letters are given, like the terrible disease could, and it says IN, and you should finish. So you should guess what are the words, and I hope you will guess it easily. Infect many people, right? Then write the words in ABC order. So if you remember alphabet, and I believe you do, you should put these words in order, and of course you will start with Alaska. The next page says, read the text again and choose the best word to complete each sentence. Nome is a small town in the north of America or Alaska. Okay? Of course, it's Alaska, not America. And Alaska is in America, but Nome is in Alaska. 20 teams of husky dogs and mushers ran as a relay. And I won't do it for you. You have to do it on your own, independently. In exercise 3, write the words next to the correct meanings. And these are the words succeed, mercy, realize, immediately, coast, blizzard, expanse, route. Route is another word for road, I think, pathway of a journey. Okay, I believe you will be able to do it yourself. So today we have learned about a true story from Alaska, about the dogs that were recognized as heroes because they saved the lives of 10,000 people. What they did, they delivered the medicines safely, and they fought bravely in the ice and in the water, and finally they succeeded. I think that's something very important, and probably people will never forget about them. And their names are, and all the other dogs, husky dogs, it says that are descendants of these dogs, Togo and Balto. So of course they are heroes, and everyone remembers about them. Thank you for listening now, and goodbye.